What remains after the tectonic plates of history shake cultures and peoples to the ground, scattering and obliterating memories of everyday life, song, and tradition? Perhaps the answer can be found in the pages of this book, When the Menorah Fades, by Zvi Preigerzon. Written after the Second World War, it tells the story of Jewish life in a small Ukrainian town called Hadych, starting from the times of pogroms during the Russian Revolution and Civil War, through community life under communist rule, and up to the Nazi occupation and the dire end. In this book, you will meet Binyamin and Solomon, students from a Moscow university on their summer vacation, wandering through town and finding romance by the bank of the Psel River. You will meet Stepan Edelman, a Leningrad professor who deeply believes in assimilation and considers himself a true Russian, to the point of changing his passport nationality. You will meet Aaron Ginsburg, a guardian at the Ohel, protector of the gravesite of Shneor Zalman Schneerson, the Alter Rebbe and founder of the Chabad movement. During Nazi occupation, Ginsburg is the only person left to preserve the Hasidic way of living, praying at the Ohel and taking care of its menorah until his death by the Nazis. According to Hasidic tradition, the perpetual flame of the menorah, which is still burning to this day, symbolizes the very spirit of Jewish life, a life that will persist as long as a flame is burning. The story follows the crumbling fate of Jewish families in Hadych. Many were betrayed by their Ukrainian neighbors, and only a few were able to hide in partisan camps. In a miraculous Kabbalistic event, those who were hiding at the Ohel of Alter Rebbe were able to escape through a tunnel that suddenly appeared when German soldiers were coming to kill them. Yet in contrast to its tragic end, you will find everyday life in the town filled to the brim with Jewish humor and song. The narration is skillfully colored with Yiddish and Hebrew expressions, metaphors from the Bible, and Hasidic legend, giving us a glimpse of the rich and layered culture that has flourished for centuries. But this is not the only story worth telling. The life of the author, Zvi Preigerzon, and the creation of this book is a story in itself. To the public, Preigerzon was known as a Moscow engineer, leading the science of coal burning to provide the Soviet nation with its growing needs of energy. However, in secret, during the small hours of the night and behind the locked doors of his study, Preigerzon was writing stories in Hebrew, a forbidden language under Soviet rule. In fact, Preigerzon wrote this novel between the printed lines of The Capital by Karl Marx to keep the prying eyes of the secret police from his life's work. Preigerzon kept the secret of his writing even from his family, sharing his love of Hebrew only with a handful of friends who met secretly, speaking with low voices under the sounds of the radio. One of them turned out to be a KGB spy, infiltrating the underground Hebrew circle. In 1949, Preigerzon was arrested and tortured for 9 months in the cellars of the KGB headquarters. He was indicted as an Israeli spy and sent to imprisonment in a gulag, a labor camp in Siberia. After the death of Stalin, under the rehabilitation of the Soviet state, Preigerzon was released. He conducted numerous interviews with survivors to better reconstruct the story of the Jewish community of Hadych. Despite the danger, a handwritten copy of the novel was smuggled to Israel in 1965 with the help of a brave secretary of the Israeli embassy in the USSR. The book was published a year later. The author's name was changed to Aleph Tzfoni, literally a man from the north, a pen name designed to keep Preigerzon, who remained in Moscow, safe. The title was also changed from the somewhat somber outlook of When the Menorah Fades to Perpetual Fire, revealing the values chosen by a young Zionist state in rewriting its collective narrative after the Holocaust. Before his death in 1969, in a brief meeting in Moscow, Preigerzon was handed a copy of the Hebrew edition of his book. This was of great significance to him. Other works were published after his death, including a novel and short stories, and even his diary retelling his days of torture and imprisonment. The translator of this English publication, Binyamin Shalom, has made every effort to preserve the spirit of Preigerzon's writing, and together with the author's family, we are happy to introduce this book to the English-speaking public for the first time. We hope you enjoy it.